One day, a massive amount of my mother-in-law's belongings arrived at my new home. It felt like her way of saying, "Once I send it over, it's your problem."
We're going to live with my mom from now on. Don't talk back to me.
That was the last straw for me. I absolutely refused to live with them. I was determined not to let them have their way and was set on showing them how. My name is Lena, 31 years old. I've been working at a major company for almost 10 years. I wasn't used to the job at first, but they have recently entrusted me with important tasks, and I just got a promotion. I met my husband Mike, who is the same age as me, at the same company. He had always talked about wanting to start his own business, and after leaving the company, he made that dream a reality. However, venturing into the unknown world of business was not as easy for him. While he didn't go bankrupt, his earnings are minimal now, and he's been running at a loss. He's gotten to the point where he can't pay the few employees he has left, and now there are only a few people remaining in the company. Thankfully, my salary is decent, so we're not struggling too much financially. If anything, buying my own house has just been pushed back a bit. I've always dreamed of having my own house. When we got married, I made it clear to him. I want to buy our own house as soon as we have the funds. He smiled warmly at my words.
You've been saying that since we were dating. Oh, I think it's a great idea. I'll help out too.
Really? Thank you. It's been a dream of mine for so long, so I'm glad you said that.
Things might get tough, but let's work hard together as a couple.
Yeah, thank you. Indeed, when my husband was still working at the same company, our savings were growing smoothly. However, as his business started losing money, he began to dip into his savings more and more. Eventually, he even had to use our joint savings. I ended up giving him half of it. By now, we should have had enough for our dream home. I wouldn't say it was entirely his fault, but we could have bought it a bit sooner than planned. That dissatisfaction was real. When our funds were halved, I was worried about what would happen. However, after saving diligently without touching my bonuses for a few years, I managed to save enough for our dream home by myself. I decided to share the good news with my husband right away. Mike, guess what? I finally saved up enough for our new home.
Really? That's amazing.
So, I was thinking about checking out some places and visiting construction companies soon. Maybe this Sunday?
This Sunday? That won't work.
Why not? I have the day off from work too.
It's not that, it's my mom's birthday. I told you we were going to her place.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. He clicked his tongue and made a visibly displeased face.
Forgetting your husband's mother's birthday, isn't that kind of bad? It's way more important than a house, right?
Sorry, but I've really been working hard on this. I wanted to get started as soon as possible.
I don't want to hear excuses. Forgetting my mom's birthday is unthinkable. You've got her present ready, right?
Present?
She's been wanting a new washing machine. You forgot already?
A washing machine? Wait, are we supposed to buy it?
Not we. You're buying it. You know I don't have an income right now. Are you being sarcastic?
No, that's not what I meant. I tried to explain, but he continued to complain, yelling at me to act like a wife before storming out of the room. He is usually kind and a good person, but his attitude changes drastically when it comes to his mother. After his parents divorced, his mother raised him as a single mom with great effort. It seems his gratitude towards her manifests in this way. Knowing her son is on her side, she always boldly scolds me whenever I visit her. Frankly, I couldn't care less about celebrating the birthday of someone who believes me so openly. Though it would upset my husband, our new home is far more important to me. However, as his wife, his mother is family to me too. So, despite my preferences, I ended up celebrating her birthday reluctantly. A few days later, when we visited my mother-in-law, Iris, I wished her a happy birthday.
So, anyway, where's my birthday present?
I heard you wanted a new washing machine, but there are so many types.
What? You haven't bought it yet?
I thought I'd ask which one you'd prefer. Without hesitation, she said,
Just buy the most expensive one.
Excuse me?
I said, just buy the most expensive one.
I couldn't understand why I was being scolded while she yelled at me, turning red with anger. Mike tried to calm her down while telling me,
You're really no good. You know, Mom loves expensive brands. Just buy the most expensive one.
What? What's going on? It's not like I said I wouldn't buy it. If I had bought it without talking to them first, they would have complained about that too. As I stewed in my frustration, she sighed dramatically.
Fine, just transfer $1,500 to my account.
What?
Didn't you hear me? $1,500. Since you didn't bring a present, you should at least do that.
But last month, you said you were struggling with living expenses, so I already gave you $700. We have our own expenses, so $1,500 is a bit much. She got furious, turning red and yelling.
What are you talking about? You're being supported by my son. You should have some leeway since Mike is taking care of everything.
Well, that's not really...
How can you be so obsessed with money? I heard from my son that you're planning to buy your own house.
Yes, that's right.
So you have the nerve to refuse me $1,500 when you can afford it? What a stingy daughter-in-law I have. I'm disappointed in you.
Disappointed? Your son hasn't contributed to living expenses for years, and our current lifestyle is solely supported by my income. She is unaware of the precarious state of her son's business, believing his performance is thriving and supporting our household. I could reveal the truth, but that would undermine his position. Despite this, I remained silent for his sake. Initially grateful, he now behaves as if he's the breadwinner, especially in front of his mother.
Hey, Lena, my mom's struggling. Can't you chip in a bit?
His complicity in his mother's bullying is routine. Exasperated, I retorted, If you're so concerned, why don't you contribute?
I'm covering all our living expenses. You're only saving for the house, so you should be able to help out now.
Are you serious? Even the living expenses, I began to reveal the truth, but he immediately cut me off.
You just got your bonus. Use that to help Mom.
Fine, but this is the last time. I conceded, eventually transferring $1,500 to Iris. Avoiding further conflict seemed easier, and it would cost less than the most expensive washing machine. Months later, despite minor disputes with my mother-in-law and husband, I successfully purchased my new home. I ignored their endless opinions on the layout and decor, having funded it myself. The anticipation of owning my dream home thrilled me. As the completion neared and I began packing, my husband critiqued my furniture choices for the new house.
You're not planning to put that furniture in our new home, are you?
What do you mean? I am, because I like them.
No way. My mom doesn't like that type of furniture.
Why does her preference matter here? He then made an unbelievable statement.
Well, duh. She's moving into the new house with us. Since you decided on the house's layout and decor, at least match the furniture to my mom's taste. Don't be too assertive. You're the wife.
His absurd reasoning left me with a headache. What was he even talking about? I never agreed to live together. Before it was too late, I made my stance clear. What are you going on about? I have no intention of living with your mother.
What? It's natural for a son to invite his mother to live with us in a new, spacious house.
Stop it. I paid for everything.
Shut up. I guess this will be the only way.
He stormed out, then returned, brandishing a divorce paper.
You know what this is?
A divorce paper? What are you trying to do?
I thought you wouldn't understand unless I was strict. I got this just in case. You'd be in trouble if I divorced you.
His name was already filled in on the husband's section, apparently intending to use it as leverage. Thinking the threat of divorce would make me comply, his shallow tactics left me speechless. Mistaking my silence for defeat, he smugly added,
Being divorced now would make you a divorcee. That'll ruin your reputation at work, especially after your recent promotion.
What are you trying to say?
You're the wife. Just quietly listen to me and my mom. I'll give you time to cool off until the moving day. Alright? My mom will live with us in the new home. Make sure there's a room for her.
At that moment, my patience shattered. So if that's how you feel, do whatever you want. I'll make sure to settle this grudge. A week later, as I unpacked in silence, the doorbell rang.
We'll start loading in the boxes now.
Expecting a delivery, I opened the door to find a moving truck outside. What's this about? I confronted my mother-in-law, who was directing the movers. Iris, what's going on here?
I'm moving in today. Mike's at work, so I came by myself.
I didn't agree to this. Please leave immediately.
What are you saying? We were supposed to live together in this house.
No, you're not. I never agreed to that. You decided on your own.
What did you say?
I turned to the movers, clearly stating, Sorry guys, but she doesn't live here. Can you take the stuff back?
Well, we're just following orders, ma'am.
This house is under my name. I can't have unknown items brought in without my consent.
Well...
The movers hesitantly began to collect the items, prompting an enraged outburst from Iris.
Hey, you! What do you think you're doing?
Me? Who do you think you are, trying to move in without my permission?
Of course I'm moving in. You're just the wife, don't talk back.
Wife? Me?
Yes, you. Just so you know, a mother-in-law's word is law. A daughter-in-law's belongings are mine.
I'm single, though.
Huh?
Didn't you hear? I'm single. I divorced Mike recently.
What? What are you talking about? That can't be. Mike never said anything.
But your son was the one who presented me with the divorce papers, already filled out, which was actually quite helpful.
Wait, this has to be a joke. And a divorce would only trouble you. How would you manage this house without his income?
Oh, about that. Your son doesn't earn anything.
That can't be. Mike is the president of a company.
The president of a company that's on the verge of bankruptcy. He's been running at a loss for years, and I've been covering all our living expenses. I kept quiet in front of you, but there's no need to lie now that we're not married.
So, this house is really all yours?
Yes. With my current salary, paying off the mortgage alone is no issue, so don't worry. You shouldn't underestimate the earnings of someone working for a major corporation.
But
So, could you please leave now? And never show up in front of me again. Goodbye.
Wait!
I cut off my ex-mother-in-law mid-sentence and locked the door. Not long after, my ex-husband called.
What the hell is going on? My mom called crying, saying she was kicked out.
Who is this?
Huh?
I told this to my ex-mother-in-law too, but I'm single now.
Single? You mean you actually submitted that divorce paper?
So what? You were the one who brought it to me, so no complaints, right?
Are you crazy? I never intended to actually divorce. It's invalid.
To think that instead of apologizing, he would impose his selfishness on me. So I told him, enough. After all I've done to support you, you're not even thanking me and instead saying the divorce is invalid? Don't make me laugh. Who do you think has been supporting us these past few years?
Well, but as a married couple, that's natural. You had a duty to support me.
Duty? Yes, indeed. So I played along, pretending you were the one earning while you acted all high and mighty.
Calm down. I didn't mean any harm.
Oh, just shut the F up already. It's too late now. We're divorced strangers now. Your company can go bankrupt for all I care. Enjoy living with your mommy.
Wait, please. I'm sorry.
I hung up without listening to the rest. Hours later, my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law tried to force their way into my new home, but I called the police and they were taken away. Apparently, their apartment was already canceled, leaving Iris homeless. She had no choice but to move into Mike's apartment, but with no income, they couldn't pay the rent. Eventually, his company went bankrupt and they moved into a 40-year-old apartment. Now they barely support themselves with odd jobs. Meanwhile, I was promoted to lead a major project at work. The new house was too big for one, so I invited my parents to live with me. Cutting ties with that family was truly a blessing. I look forward to fulfilling life in my dream home with my parents.